$150 is a lot to spend on a gaming controller in 2026, but this is the FLYDIGI Apex 5 gaming controller, and there's a lot of features that we're going to be going over in today's video. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into it and give you all the tech specs and then what I think about the controller in general. So the FLYDIGI Apex 5 is a pretty nice higher end controller that they've come out with recently. This came out in September of 2025. So it's fairly new, and it runs on average about $145 to $160. I have seen it twice in the Amazon price listing history that it has dropped down to $128, but I would not hold out your hopes in getting it for that price. I think those are like the yearly Black Friday and Amazon Prime Day deals. This obviously has connectivity for everything except for Xbox and PS5. So for PC, Switch, iOS, Android, TV, and anything like that, this controller will work pretty fine. And it is also tri-mode connectivity, so you have your USB-C connector for the wired mode, you have Bluetooth and 2.4 with a dongle. The two biggest things that this controller offers is going to be a lot of adjustments with your joysticks and then your triggers as well. Now, on your average higher end controller, you're usually going to have some little toggles here for mechanical triggers here. This does not have that. You can see there's literally nothing over here. And there's actually going to be a lot more of customization inside of this LED screen here, which we'll get into in a bit. But essentially with these force adapt triggers, you basically have a good 5 or 6 options that you can change for your actual feedback in these triggers, which is really cool. We'll go over those exact details in a minute. But for your triggers, these are alloy joysticks. And then with these joysticks, you can actually see right here, there's a little bit of a dial. When you take off this front plate, you can actually adjust the force and resistance that you have to move these joysticks with. So this one I have set to more of a lighter movement, and this one more of a heavy one since I use this to aim, obviously. So there's a lot of adjustment here. You do have to take off this D-pad, and then you can remove this front cover here. It is kind of hard to get this D-pad off, but once it's off, you can just pull off the front plate, and then they actually have the tool right here built in to where you can actually just adjust these on the fly. So if you wanted to kind of mess around and see what kind of adjustment you have, you can do so there. For the joysticks on the wired mode, they say that you have about 3 milliseconds of response time and 5 milliseconds when you're using it wirelessly, which is, I imagine you're going to be doing that a lot more than using it wired. They say that your average competitor is going to have around a 30 to 50 millisecond response time with your joysticks. So cutting that down drastically is a pretty bold claim from FLYDIGI, but that is a benefit that you can get whenever you go with one of these controllers. You have a total of 6 extra buttons on this controller compared to your standard ones with your triggers. 2 micro buttons on the bottom here are customizable, as well as your 4 buttons on the back here. These 2 are actually hot swappable, so you can actually remove these. These are obviously built in and they have a really nice tactile-ish kind of feel, but removing them, you just slide down and then you can see the actual mechanism there where it slides into that small little thin channel, and your button is actually next to that. And like I said, these are removable and really easy to do so. So if you're someone like me, I actually don't like these buttons here because I personally don't use many macros on my controllers. So I would opt to remove them, and that's what it looks like removed. That actually comes from the factory with these removed. So unless you know about adding those in, you actually be able to use these. These macros on the back feel pretty nice and they rest pretty nicely in your hand whenever you're actually gaming. So if you do end up wanting to use them, they're pretty easy to feel. And then you have 2 extra, and I guess your last buttons for customization extras on the top here of the controller. And then you have really nice feeling bumpers. And then like I said, those triggers have a bit of of grip to them. So they feel pretty good. And they're also transparent, which is also a really nice little touch, and blue. You can also see on this controller that you have some RGB customization with this light bar on the bottom. You can switch between breathing, this color cycle mode, which is actually currently on, and then with their software, you can actually adjust anything really with the lighting, and you can actually make it a vibration-based RGB mode. So you can kind of match it to the actual game you're playing, and live action whenever you're shooting or anything like that, you can see the lighting light up on the controller. They also even include a bit of a DIY kit for these RGB strips right here. So on this piece right here, it says FLYDIGI 2025, and you can actually remove this in a way, and you can actually insert and kind of doodle your own little signature or something like that on this controller and insert it in. So they give you the tools for that and allows you to do that, which I think is a pretty cool touch. Definitely more of a niche touch that they didn't have to do, but it's included in your unboxing experience. And whenever you buy this controller, you'll have like 3 or 4 of these little slips here that you can replace this piece with and have your own little signature on the controller to kind of make it your own. So this controller is a bit on the heavier side. In my opinion, at least, I am usually using an Easy SMX X20 right now. and that one's definitely a very lightweight, they claim to be competitive controller. This one, I actually prefer how it feels. It holds really nicely in your hands. And with this one coming in at 1.3 pounds, it's definitely a bit on the heavier side, but it feels like a quality controller, which I do like, and I'm kind of expecting for, honestly, when you're buying a $150 controller. Materials all around this controller are nice. It's a nice smooth plastic on the top here. You have really nice feeling joysticks as well. They kind of grip your thumbs really nicely. And then again, where you want a non-slip feeling, they pretty much have that on every point of the controller. So you got a nice coarse feeling on the bumpers, on the very top of the triggers, and then this back grip area here is also pretty grippy. I really like the feeling of it. No creaks of any kind or anything like that. I like the mechanical tactile buttons on the X, A, B, and Y. They feel really solid, nothing really loose at all whatsoever. And then these joysticks again are pretty solid. I do like how they feel, especially whenever you crank up the resistance. It was a little too loose out of the box, so I definitely tightened this one up a little bit and this one up a lot. For your D-pad, you also have a multi-way and multi-point actuation points. So not only do you have left, right, top, bottom, but you also have the corners there as well, so you can get a more direct and precise input if you're doing any kind of like fighting games or anything like that. And it also has a 6-point axis gyro as well. If you ended up using one of these controllers in a game that can actually utilize that, I don't play any games like that, so it's not a feature I would ever really use, but it's there if you want it. And the last thing is a 1500 milliamp hour battery is claimed to be inside of this controller for week-long gaming from what FLYDIGI claims. I haven't really been able to put the battery life to the test, but I imagine if it's a 1500 milliamp hour battery, it's gonna be just fine. It'll last you quite a while, especially if it's turning off all the time and considering that battery life whenever you're not actually using it. So these are the tech specs of the FLYDIGI Apex 5, a lot of features and customization options you can do with the controller. We're gonna dive deeper into the menu just so you guys see what options there are for it. So basically, whenever you turn on the controller, you'll long hold this front center button here. Your first option is connect, so you can see you can pick between PC, Switch, iOS, more, and the more is just like some Bluetooth options. You can also see when you go over here, you have button mapping. So you have your trigger modes, you have your button edits, test, reset, and those are your main options. For trigger modes, you can pick between your actual left and right trigger, and this is what I was talking about earlier, how these specialized back triggers have options. So your normal button is going to be just your average clicking. Your sniper is going to have some, and you can see my finger actually doing it. It's got some feedback to it, and there's a point where it actually clicks. So it almost feels like you're pulling a trigger on a gun. So that's kind of interesting. You have trigger lock as well, and you have 3 modes of this one. Your first one's going to be your more heavier option. But the thing is with these trigger locks, obviously they're not actual mechanical, physical trigger locks. It's just kind of simulated trigger locks. So you can still push past it if you want to, but like if you're just loosely clicking it, you won't be able to push past it, but any amount of force, you're gonna be able to push past it. Like I said, it's kind of rough when you do past this. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but like I said, if you're doing a specific game and you just want like instant actuation, it can help in some way. Next up, we have vibration, and when you turn this on and you're not gaming, you're not really gonna notice anything, but whenever you press the triggers or anything like that, it's gonna have vibration, kind of like your traditional controller. And you also have recoil. So this one is gonna have, you can see how it kind of bounces back a little bit. This one, similar to that sniper mode, it's got a bit of like a rough texture to it whenever you're pushing down on it. I'm not the biggest fan of that, to be honest. And then race mode I actually do like. So it almost simulates the feel of a gas pedal, which I do like. It gives you a little more customization with where you want to be in the range of the controller. So whenever you're kind of like want to be half throttle, you have the ability to just kind of like be at half point. It's not like all or nothing like this one is. Like no resistance whatsoever. This one has a good amount of resistance all the way through. It's nice and smooth. So that one I do seem to be pretty useful. But like I said, most of the time, I imagine you're probably going to want to be on normal unless you really like one of these modes right here. Next up, you have configuration switches, and this is basically just presets. So like I said, if you want to have a sniper mode, a racing mode, a standard mode, and then like a performance mode, you can definitely do that. You also have settings to adjust brightness on this display. It's pretty dark, but for video purposes, it's going to be at the brightest. You have vibration mode, so you can change the amount of vibration this one has. You have hibernate, language, and reset, and that's pretty much all the main things in this controller menu screen here. I really wish they allowed you to change the RGB modes in the actual controller screen here. I feel like that would have been easy to implement and not have to be tied to the software. You can just hop onto their website-based software and you can adjust that one time, set it to your color that you like, and then leave it as is. But kind of a downside, you have to do that, and you can't just do it on this pretty intuitive, nice screen. Now this dock is the Pro 2 dock, which is specific for the Vader and then the Apex 5 controller. It actually matches the color and finish of the Apex 5 controller pretty nicely, actually. And this screen right here, which I'll show B-roll on the screen here, is pretty bright. It's kind of like that digital Pixar kind of vibe, if you will say that, and it looks pretty cool. It does charge the controller pretty easily whenever it's nice and hooked up. I will say for the connectivity side of it, you have the actual dongle, which is going to be at the bottom here, which you slot in with USB A type, and then you have extra ports on the back here. So you have 2 USBs and you have a USB-C, which I use to power. Pretty straightforward dock. I'm not too certain, honestly, if you can customize what's being displayed on this little screen here. I imagine with some digital software customization, you could probably do that when it's all hooked up and set up. But this is actually going to be where you can charge your controller wirelessly and also have your dongle stored as well. So not a bad option and not a bad upgrade accessory if you're already going to be spending this much money on a controller. What's an extra 25 bucks that you can find on Amazon and gives you a little extra screenage and lighting in your setup that I know so many people do like. Only thing I wanted to note with this exact dock is you don't get a USB-C cable included in the packaging in the box. It is literally just this. So I'm assuming what they want you to do is use the USB-C cable that you get included with this controller here, and then you can just plug that into the USB-C power right here, and you're good to go. But that is one thing I wanted to note because I was looking around in the box for like 5 minutes. I'm like, did I miss the cable somewhere? Nope, it is exactly just this in the box. But what do I think about this controller here? Do I think it's worth the price? For an average gamer like me, I tried this controller out for a little bit, and honestly, I think it's really cool. There's a lot of options of customization. I think if you're someone who really likes controller and you prefer to use controller in even mouse and keyboard compatible games like Apex Legends, the finals, so on and so forth, if you prefer having a controller and you like the aim assist and you like all that good stuff, this would be a good option to pick up if you really want to get serious with your customization and whatnot. I'm just someone who prefers mouse and keyboard, and in the events where I'm using a controller and I'm playing things like Rocket League or Forza or things like that, or even Black Myth Wukong, those aren't competitive games that I don't necessarily need competitive features for my controller in. So at the end of the day, I'm not someone that's going to take advantage of all these features that are inside of this controller. The response time feels good, the build quality feels amazing, and I really do like how this controller feels. I like the looks of it as well. Especially if you have a white setup, I think this will really pop with your setup, especially if it's docked as well, since you have this docking station right here. These features are pretty cool. The controller does feel really nice and really solid. And like I said, I think you're not going to be disappointed with any of FLYDIGI's products. We've taken a look at their Vader line of controllers as well, and that's a bit more on the budget end, while still not sacrificing too much of the quality. You're still getting that nice build quality and, of course, the FLYDIGI name. So if you wanted to take advantage of a nicer quality controller that you're going to be confident it's not going to break in 6 months, you can definitely take a look at one of these controllers here. Maybe consider the Vader option as well if you didn't want to maybe invest in all these features up front. And if you ever get more serious with your controller games or you're getting up there in rank, maybe you can look into a controller like this. But those are really my thoughts and the spec list of this FLYDIGI Apex 5 controller. It's a pretty impressive controller, I'm going to be honest. It's just a controller that I'm probably not going to be able to be good enough to utilize the full uses of this controller. But let me know what you guys think about this controller in the comments down below. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description down below that will help us out if you wanted to take a look at one of these or pick one up for yourself. Appreciate the support. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.